To all appearances, it was just an ordinary morning on the streets of Moscow. Just as on the streets of London, the boulevards of Paris, and the squares of Rome, one more day was beginning, the 12th of April, 1961. Even here, where skillful hands assemble watches that tick away the time, no one guessed that during these very seconds, a new page was being written in the history of mankind. This is Moscow. This is Moscow calling. Listen to all the radio stations of the Soviet Union. Here is a TASS communiqué on the first flight by man into the cosmos on the 12th of April, 1961. On the 12th of April, the Soviet Union orbited a spaceship, the Vostok, around the Earth with a man on board. The astronaut is a Soviet citizen, pilot Major Gagarin Yuri Alexeyevich.
Пилотом-космонавтом космического корабля «Спутника Восток» является гражданин Союза Советских Социалистических Республик, летчик-майор Гагарин Юрий Алексеевич.
Major Gagarin sends to Earth. Flight continuing normally. Feel fine.
Советский корабль «Восток»
The Soviet spaceship Vostok has successfully landed in a predetermined area of the Soviet Union. What man dreamt of ever since the Russian scientist Tsiolkovsky showed people the road to outer space has now been accomplished. Thousands upon thousands immediately thronged the streets of the capital to celebrate this unprecedented feat. Every one of us was with Yuri Gagarin as he orbited the Earth 190 miles above us. This boy comes in for some of the glory only because his name is also Yuri. So did he, and simply because he is also an airman. Even people who had never made a single speech in their whole lives couldn't restrain the words that poured from their hearts. Honor and congratulations to Yuri Gagarin, and a big thank you from all the people, the Russians, the Germans, from everyone. The whole world is applauding him, and I would like to say once more, dear friends, do as he does. People waited impatiently for every fresh edition of the Pravda to learn more about this triumph of Soviet science and engineering. In all the capitals of the world, people listened with bated breath to the news from Moscow. This was a sensation such as the world had never known. L'Humanité had not yet appeared on the newsstands, but an extra bulletin at the entrance to the editorial offices informed Parisians about the Soviet people's great victory. The door to the unknown is opened. Hats off to the Russians. That was the reaction abroad to the first news about the man in space. Everything that seemed important and significant yesterday gave place to this astounding news from Moscow. Thousands crowded before the balcony of the Soviet embassy in Sofia, the capital of fraternal Bulgaria. headlines of the British press hailed the first spaceman. For 2 days, Moscow has been waiting expectantly for the hero's return. TV stations in many European countries pick up the telecast from Vnukovo Airport. Leaders of the party and government, headed by Nikita Khrushchev, arrive at the airport. The hero's parents and his wife Valentina Gagarina walk over to the reviewing stand. It's only a matter of minutes now before the world's first explorer of outer space will appear. Here he is, erect and trim, healthy and unharmed, the glorious son of the Soviet land, Major Yuri Gagarin. Comrade First Secretary of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union and Chairman of the Council of Ministers of the USSR. I'm happy to report to you that the assignment given by the Central Committee of the Communist Party and the Soviet government has been fulfilled. A flight on the Soviet spaceship Vostok was made successfully on April the 12th for the first time in the history of mankind. All the ship's instruments and equipment worked precisely and flawlessly. I feel very well. I am ready to carry out any new assignment from our party and government. Major Gagarin.
Самочувствие отличное. Готов выполнить любое новое задание нашей партии и правительства. Майор Гагарин.
As Premier Khrushchev hugs Gagarin again and again, people everywhere are deeply moved by the sight of this Soviet man who has opened the road into the cosmos. Television audiences in Sweden, Poland, and as far away as London are watching Vnukovo Airport. Ever since the Russian word Sputnik gained a firm foothold in the languages of all the peoples of the Earth, it was clear that the first space flight would be made by a Soviet man. But who would be the man to accomplish this unprecedented exploit? He is a Soviet man who was trained by a vocational school a technical school, and the Air Force. The Red Square. The man who has been in outer space has now returned to the heart of the Soviet Union. My dear fellow countrymen, dear Nikita Sergeyevich, comrades, leaders of the party and government, permit me, first of all, to convey my sincere thanks to the Central Committee of the Communist Party, the Soviet government, all the Soviet people, and you personally, Nikita Sergeyevich, for having shown such great trust in me, a Soviet airman, in giving me the responsible task of making the first space flight.
Оказано такое большое доверие и поручено ответственное задание совершить первый полет в космос.
Yuri Gagarin says in conclusion, "Long live our socialist homeland." Long live our great and mighty Soviet people. Glory to the Communist Party of the Soviet Union and its Leninist Central Committee headed by Nikita Sergeyevich Khrushchev. Premier Khrushchev is next to speak.
Дорогие товарищи, дорогие друзья,
Dear comrades, dear friends, citizens of the whole world, I address you with a feeling of great joy and pride. For the first time in history, a man from the planet Earth, our Soviet man, has broken away to cosmic heights on a ship made by the hands of Soviet scientists, workers, technicians, and engineers, and has made the first unprecedented flight to the stars. The spaceship Vostok rose to an altitude of about 190 miles, circled the Earth, and landed successfully at a predetermined point in the Soviet Union. As Premier Khrushchev continues his speech, bygone years come before the mind's eye of his listeners. He ends with the words, "Comrades, there are many splendid pages in the history of our country. It is being written by the work, inspiration, talent, determination, and courage of millions of Soviet people.
Пусть здравствуют и процветают наши замечательные советские люди, творцы новых.
Long life and prosperity to our wonderful Soviet people, the builders of a new life, the builders of communism. Long life and prosperity to our socialist homeland, the country where the Great October Revolution began a new epoch in the development of mankind.
Начал новую эпоху развития человечества. Слава великому вождю!
Glory to the great leader and founder of the Communist Party and the socialist homeland, Vladimir Lenin.
Ильичу Ленину! Да здравствуют народы Советского
Long live the
Союза!
people of the Soviet Union, the builders of communism. Hundreds of thousands of people march across the Red Square on this never-to-be-forgotten day, hailing their hero. A gala reception is held the same evening in the Georgiev Hall of the Kremlin. The country's highest decoration, the Order of Lenin and the Gold Star, are conferred on the new hero of the Soviet Union, Yuri Gagarin, by President Leonid Brezhnev. He has also conferred the title First Soviet Astronaut. When representatives of foreign powers shake the hand of the Soviet man, they're paying a tribute of respect to all the Soviet people. This is a day of unprecedented triumph for the creative thought of Soviet scientists, engineers, technicians, workers, and pilots. Moscow celebrates jubilantly until late at night.
Апрельский день, сияющий, лучи по небу вытянул. С победой вас, товарищи, с подарком удивительным, орбитой этой пройденной и подвигом Гагарина, земле, советской родиной, вся ширь миров подарена.
A salute is fired in honor of this victory in outer space exploration.